to Simple Conversations with ASG.
I asked a few people in my Substack chat and on Instagram about if there was any questions about online, like the paranoia they have with it and stuff. And there was one that kept coming up, and I don't think I'm understanding it well enough because, like I said, I'm an adult infant, know nothing really about anything. People are asking a lot: is crypto and the blockchain safe? Has it been regulated? Is probably a better question because it is very new.
No, that's the whole point of blockchain is decentralization of control of it. The biggest problem with blockchain is the sheer amount of energy that it takes to drive it. It's unsustainable. It's a interesting mathematical protocol, but boy, does it eat up an awful lot of processing and power and eats trees and all that. Is it safe? We all use it regardless. We're using it. And in many cases, you're using it in places that you and I don't know. When it comes to crypto, I have an opinion which is worthless. So no, I'm not even going to bother with my opinion. It's no.
I think the
Opinion.
main paranoia with crypto is how you buy crypto. No, you have to go through the wallets and these different websites. People are maybe wondering, is there a way to tell these websites are safe? Like we mentioned before about you can tell a person's safe to talk to online if there is an authentication process. But with crypto and these websites to buy crypto, you have to jump through a lot of rabbit holes. The reason why I don't get involved. Like, how can you really tell those are safe?
The rabbit holes are these guys are financial institutions that are talking to the traditional banking industry's infrastructure as well. So an awful lot of them have had to adapt their technologies to be able to communicate in a secure banking manner. I'm using that term loosely, but some way that satisfies the traditional banking industry's criteria. Again, which ones are the real ones? Well, I would call a buddy and say, which ones are you using? And I don't know, there's a half a dozen of names, Coinbase. I don't even know them because I really don't mess around with it. It's not difficult to find the top 3 or 4. And when you're at the top 3 or 4, again, critical thinking, your research, and look for the evidence. And don't believe the first thing you saw. Don't believe the second thing you saw. It's like my wife was just going through, our washer died. And she goes, what are we going to do? I said, you're going to go figure it out. And so then the next several days was deep dive into everything about washers. And these days, with the amount of bullshit coming your way, whether it's well-intentioned BS, marketing BS, or misinformation or out and out misrepresentation and lies, you're still going to filter your way through that to find a reasonable answer. And that's back to critical thinking. And so when you hear people, I've seen this in politics and religion, but more so in politics, you end up with some folks that have some very, very strong ideations based upon a belief system and a very, very fixed ideology. You get into a discussion and you start trying to get them to provide evidence. Show me how you got there. Show me the threads of the thought of how they connect. And when you hear the response, well, just go, you do your research. Do you know what that actually means? No, it means I have no fucking idea what I'm.
Yeah,
So in the digital world, people, I'm sorry, you got to take responsibility. Right, wrong, or indifferent, you got to take responsibility or disconnect.
this question might be marketing BS, and you can tell me if it is, but people seem to be really saying that in the future, with this whole getting rid of cash movement thing, that the blockchain and crypto is going to be almost like the digital payment type of thing. Like we're going to be able to pay for everything through it. But you mentioned that it takes an awful lot of energy to drive these things. Do you think that times will adapt to that and eventually the energy will move into that? Or do you think this is all just market and shit to try and sell a new coin?
The coins are on the side. That is trying to create value out of perception. That's, NFC, non-fungible currency types of things. So I don't want, let's separate that from technology. Blockchain-like architecture will likely evolve. The problem that you have with blockchain is the scalability of it. How many credit card transactions are processed daily? I don't know, 10 billion, whatever. More? I don't know. That's some big number, right? How many blockchain exchanges are done a day? Oh, some very, very small percentage of that. Very, very small of people who are engaged in blockchain, crypto exchange, Bitwallet, and those things. It will not scale to the credit card size. And if it did, we wouldn't have a tree left on the planet. So right now, when you talk about cashless, I mean, right now we are just on the edge of cashless. I travel a great deal, and cash is, I always have some, especially when I travel international, just cause, but you're 95% just either paying with your phone, Google Pay, wallet, or your credit card. We're already there. We're largely there. Going to a cash required place is shit. I better have some cash because I don't know. Like going to a farmer's market here. Yeah, you better have cash. There was this bar in Paris. I got to tell you, it was very funny. A friend of mine took me there a number of years ago. It's the Islamic Christian porn bar, believe it or not. And I know it's a long story. And we were there, and as we're getting ready to leave, I whip out a credit card and goes, well, they only take cash. And I go, oh, I had like 10 euros on me. And this was a few years ago. It took a while to be able to find an ATM machine that worked with an American credit card to be able to get cash out. And that is, okay, that was the big lesson. Regardless if we're in a cashless society, always have some cash.
Yeah, I asked it because we are pretty much at the cashless society, and I agree with that. But I think people are trying to, again, this paranoia. People think that big finance is somehow scamming them or they're hiding something from them. So they think blockchain is going to be the next thing. But funny you mention the cashless thing in Paris because I went to Spain last year and I genuinely do not think I had anything close to a euro in my pocket. Like I never had any kind of cash, coin, nothing. It was all done on my phone. Like I think people are almost scraping at it because they see that coming and it came quicker than they expected. They probably still expected cash to be in circulation at the moment because crypto's booming, blockchain's trendy. They just assume that that's going to happen. Maybe the parent leads in.
Every bit of our cashless society, the vast majority of our cashless society is using specifications written in the 70s on how to do secure exchange of financial information. It has evolved since, of course, over the years, but the fundamental methodology of cash, credit card payment, and financial exchange hasn't changed.